All right, day one, Bassmaster Open on Toho. I drew boat like 114 or something like that, 116. I knew I wasn't gonna get to sight fish with that boat number, so I instantly went down to Kissimmee, locked through. I hadn't locked through before, so I really didn't even know how long of a drive it was. It wasn't too bad. We had to wait on 2 sets of locks for them to lock us through. Get down there. Don't know how many people are going to be down there. Some of the areas I have on Kissimmee, the grass beds aren't very big because they're usually surrounded by pads and other things. So they're usually smaller little areas. So when I get down there, I had one little like area I think was the best in the grass, and I started there. And another guy was kind of across from me. So it's kind of cool. He kind of stayed to his side, I stayed to my side. And I saw him catch one right off the bat, and then I catch 3. One of them was a decent one, like a 2.5 pounder, you know. And so I felt pretty good just to have 3, because I always worry about these events, you know, how many fish am I actually going to catch? But I could tell we also got down there a lot later in that morning bite. We only really had about 30 minutes, and that morning bite was over, and you could tell more boats showed up. I could see around 10 boats at the time, 8 to 10, and I never saw a person catch a fish for like 45 minutes to an hour. I really only saw that one fish get caught while I was there. So I decided to make a move earlier than everyone else. Like I was the first one to leave. I left and went to my second spot. When I got there, and it's that spot I told you all that I had found the day 1 of practice, or day 2 of practice, the first time I'd been there. And I got bit there twice in practice, like 2 different times, and at 2 different times of the day. So I was really excited about this. And I didn't think really, it didn't look like much. I didn't think many people would find it. And there was like 2 boats in there, which was fine. I get there, I fished for like an hour and a half, and I overheard 2 of the guys who had been there the whole time talk about how they only had 1 or 2 apiece, and about how they hadn't had a bite in like 2 hours. So now I'm sitting here going, okay, it's one of those days. And what I mean by that is it's January, it's Florida, and it's tournament day, and it's like, even if practice was kind of up and down, right? We'd have certain days that were good, certain days that were bad, but I'm like, this is the bad day. This is gonna be a bad day. You can just see it all over the place. So I left there, and I went and tried, Holman gave me an area. He was like, hey man, there's some little fish in here. I'm like, just go mess around, maybe you can figure something out. He was on them really good flipping and doing some other things. He's like, I won't ever even have time to go up there. And it was down the same bank that I had thrown that cutter worm down, and where I caught the 4.5 pounder. It was down the same arrowheads, same everything. So it was just further down there, and we had always said, hey man, I might just go down this entire bank and find them. So I was gonna go up there and then work my way all the way down to where I had caught them. So when I get up there, I had never even seen it, but I go up there and I'm like, yeah, okay, that looks like the right kind of bank. So I pull up, within 4th cast, I catch a 2.5 pounder. I break one off, my fault, it was stupid. And then I end up catching like 7. And I'm all throwing that speed worm right up to them arrowheads, and it'd get right to the thing of the arrowheads, and you see the arrowheads just start shaking, like, and they'd bite. And it was cool, man. It was awesome.
Things shook in there. Yeah.
big. Big's number 5. We're gonna catch him doing this.
What's that?
We're gonna catch him doing this.
Yeah.
There's too many guys all of a sudden. Funny how these fish are like still biting.
Right.
It's amazing. I do not get that. It's a bigger one. I mean, not bigger than what I thought. You know, it just ate the tail earlier. Got him? Have him?
Yep.
I'm not very good at that. That might have been, that was another one that bit twice though. And it was not really off that. Like he was like 5 foot off that thing.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah. I'm not saying he didn't follow it, but the first time he was 5 foot off of it too. So I caught like 7 or 8, ran through it one time, didn't mess with it anymore. Went and tried a whole bunch of my other stuff, would catch one random one here or there. And it was dead sunny and dead calm. I mean, like slick. And I was like, man, if I have a chance right now to go sight fish, it would be today, even though I really don't think I'll find one. So I left early. I even left, I had a 4 o'clock weigh-in, I left at like 12:30. So I run all, it takes me like an hour by the time you run and lock through, and I drive all the way back up. And I just put my head down and starting a whole brand new area looking where I've seen them before. And I'm going along and I see a bed or two. So I'm excited about just seeing some beds, and I see a fish or two kind of cruising, which I hadn't seen. But this is one more day of 85-degree weather. And so I'm just hoping, man, that maybe one or two pushes up. And literally I roll across one, and it's a big one hanging out on a bed. And I was like, God, there's no way I got this lucky. And the reason I say that is there's people up there looking. They've probably been there all day. There was zero reason why I should have even just gone and looked behind everyone, but I did. And there wasn't a lot of people up there, but it only takes one person, right? And there's not enough fish. So I go by and I'm like, there's no way she's still gonna be there. Well, I turn the boat around.
Fish. It's a male that pretty good one.
Yeah.
But the male just ate it. Like hooked herself. That's why I came back up here. That's what I'm talking about. And the mouth?
Yes, sir.
There you go, Scott. Look at that.
Why you gonna give it for me?
I gotta let him go. I can only keep 5. Yeah, I have to let the small one go.
Did the male ever mess with the bait?
Yeah, she ate it. Like, he ate it.
Oh, did?
Yeah, that's why I had to, like, shake it off that one time. Like, he almost hooked himself.
Oh, I got you.
I messed around with her for a while, shake the male off once or twice. Eventually the female bites, I catch her, and it's like a 5-pounder. Saved my day. I went from like 9 pounds, or like 10 pounds probably, 10 and a half to 13 and a half. So it saved my day, you know, and I was pretty excited about the day because I was like, man, it could have just been another 9, 10 pound. I'd have been middle of the pack, 100 points.